Hello guys, welcome back to another video. And today we're gonna do the conference finals review. The conference finals start tonight. The first game is the Eastern Conference Finals, game one, Heat versus Celtics, and then tomorrow is Mavericks versus the Warriors. Mavericks who just came off a game seven and they beat the Suns. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about who I think is gonna win. Key matchups and all that. And I guess we'll start off by like we usually do reviewing the previous games, the previous series. So yeah, we'll start with the Heat. They just came off a win against the Sixers. They were the first team to move on. And yeah, they beat the Sixers and I think it was six, right? Um so yeah, they beat the Sixers in six. Yeah, and the series was tied 2-2, and Joel Embiid came back for a few games. He missed the first two games, and the Heat were up 2-0. And then they won two games in Philly, but then the Heat won the last two and closed it out in Philadelphia. So yeah, the Heat, number one seed, are gonna move on to the conference finals. They are playing tonight against the Celtics, a tough matchup there. We'll get to the Celtics next, but yeah, Heat, it's cool seeing them here. James Harden. We'll talk about the Sixers, I guess. James Harden and Embiid, they've been getting no, not even Embiid. It's Embiid had a great playoffs. Coming back from the injury, he had the mask and all that. It's really hard to play with that thing on, and you could tell he was frustrated. You could tell, he wasn't at his best. He was playing with several different injuries. So yeah, I mean, I think he did his best. He did all he could. And yeah, that's all he really could do. And yeah. But then you had James Harden who only scored 11 points in the final game. So yeah, there's problems in Philly already. Doc Rivers' coaching has been really questionable as of late, and James Harden. They're planning on keeping both James Harden and Doc Rivers, which I think they probably will. Darrell Morey, the GM of the Sixers, said that. So I'm assuming that's gonna go ahead. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think Doc Rivers. I don't think he's a great coach, if I'm being honest. What he says in the media and all that, that's one thing. But then just his adjustments, he doesn't make adjustments. He doesn't really try, like, yeah, and just yeah, he just doesn't make adjustments. Simple as that. Sometimes, he did win the championship in 2008, but I think a lot of the reason why people don't really weren't criticizing him before this year as much was really because of that championship. And people are even saying, going as far as he's one of the worst coaches in the NBA, which I don't know, but I don't know. I don't think he's the right dude for the Sixers. And I don't think they're gonna get rid of him either. But yeah, that's questionable. And then obviously James Harden's not a superstar anymore. He's past his Houston days. But I mean, 11 points. I expect more than that. I mean, you're a former superstar, and you're not, and you just went from, he was only in the Rockets a year ago. I mean, he got traded after 13 months with the Nets. So I mean, he was still like, I can't believe how fast he's declined, because you got players like Jimmy Butler who are still in their prime basically. Um, you got players that are still in their prime. And I guess his prime just didn't last longer. And James Harden is a player who I didn't really expect to really drop off that quick. But I mean, I mean, I don't know. And if I'm being honest, I mean, people really were saying, "Oh, the Sixers won the Nets trade. They got James Harden, and Ben Simmons hasn't played at all. This and that." But I mean, if I'm being honest, like, I don't know. I don't think anybody really won the trade. Like, now looking at it, maybe you could have said that a few weeks ago and gotten away with it. But now, I mean, I don't know. James Harden, I mean, he's not playing well at all, and he's one of the key reasons why they kind of lost. Only took 9 shots. He only took 9 shots. So yeah, that's just disappointing. That's the Sixers. They're out of the playoffs. We can forget about them for now. But yeah, we also have the Boston Celtics who beat the Bucks. Oh my god, I'm not a Bucks fan, but I was really disappointed seeing them go out. I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed. I like Giannis. I've seen him play. Sorry about that right there, but yeah, I like Giannis. I've seen him play in person before, so I've always been, since he became an All Star, I really liked him. But it was disappointing to see him go out. I wouldn't call myself a fan of him, but um yeah, I didn't expect the Bucks to go out. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see Giannis losing in a game seven, but he did. The Celtics are so good. They have such good depth. They have a great starting lineup, and a player who really showed up in the series and proved that they still have it is Al Horford. Like, what a series he had. He's 35 years old and he still played a great series. Locked up Giannis, like that one game, dunked on Giannis a few times. Like, yeah, you really got to give them credit. And I think the Celtics are probably the best team in the defensive team in the NBA, probably. I don't know if they were like statistically ranked that high, but like, I mean, they got all their guys who can play defense. Even Tatum can play that defense. Marcus Smart, DPOY right there. Grant Williams, who dropped 27 in the Game 7 win, he dropped 27. He had 2 blocks as well. He played great defense. He's one of the better defenders, on that team. Robert Williams, who he did miss a few games, but I think he'll be he didn't play in Game 7 either, I think, but I think he'll probably be back sometime this series. Um, but yeah, the Celtics, they're a real threat in this Heat series. We'll get to that after we go over the West. But yeah, for the Bucks, it's unfortunate with Middleton having that injury. It's really unfortunate that he got injured, because this could have been very different if the Bucks had Middleton, because really Giannis was just doing it all. And same with Holiday. Isn't really a scorer, but Holiday was scoring, 20 a game, I think, something like that in that series. So not having Chris Middleton was a huge blow, and like Giannis did have to do a lot by himself. He was dropping 30 to 40 every night in that series. But yeah, the Celtics move on just because of their great defense. Great on the offensive end as well. Yeah, just a great team, and they're gonna cause the Heat trouble. They're gonna make problems for the Heat as well, I think. We'll get to my prediction later, but yeah, then we'll go Warriors Grizzlies now. Yeah, Warriors in 6. They were up 3-1 at one point, so the Grizzlies did blow them out that one game. Like, they just destroyed them, and yeah, that was that one game. But the next game, the Warriors bounced back, won it in San Francisco, and advanced to the next round. But um yeah, just doing what I thought they would. I actually, no, that's not what I thought they would do. I had the Grizzlies in the finals. If you guys remember, like 2 videos ago, I haven't been really uploading, but if you go back like 2 videos, I had the Grizzlies versus the Bucks in the finals. So both my picks are out in the second round, unfortunately. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I don't know why I thought the Grizzlies were gonna make the NBA finals. If I'm being honest, I kind of stretched on that, because really they're not experienced. I know they were in the playoffs last year, but realistically, they're not experienced. Their veteran is Steven Adams, but um John Morant, he's not experienced in the playoffs yet. It's gonna take these playoff losses, these series losses, to get you to all the way back to a contender. This is part of the experience, and eventually that young team, it will be one of the best teams in the NBA. And it was this season. They showed this season they were one of the best teams in the NBA. But I'm saying, like, in a few years, those players will develop even more, be in their primes, and I think they'll make a run and win the finals eventually in like 4 or 5 years, maybe even sooner. But yeah, eventually those guys are gonna win a championship, and like definitely soon. But yeah, the Grizzlies. The Warriors. I don't know. I didn't even watch this series too much, just because I think the games were pretty late. Like, they were pretty late at night for my time. I'm on East Coast time, so I was not able to watch like a lot of these games. But yeah, I know the Warriors are definitely a more experienced team, and or experience usually benefits in these situations. So yeah, Steph Curry might get his 4th ring here. I don't even know. I have a feeling he's gonna get his 4th ring. I don't know, but let's see. He might get that Finals MVP too. And then yeah, Mavs versus Suns. This was, oh my god, the Suns are getting like flamed right now all over social media, all over the internet. The Suns. I don't know how that happens. You're the best team in the NBA. A lot of people had you as their contenders. A lot of people had you winning, which most people had them in the finals. I think it was either them or the Warriors. I went a little different and chose the Grizzlies, but a lot of people had the Suns in the finals. A lot of people, had them winning the finals, and first seed, best team in the NBA, 60 wins, 60 plus wins. I did not expect them to lose in a game 7 that bad by like 30 points. It was 90 something to 120, I think, to the Mavs, and that just shows how good Luka Doncic is. It really does. It shows how good he is. He's an elite player at his age. I think he's like what, 24, 23. It's crazy. This dude's gonna be so good. He's reminding me of like when LeBron took the Cavs to the finals in 2007, I think it was, against the Spurs. They got swept in the finals, but Luka is taking a team with no other All-Stars, just him basically. I know Spencer Dinwiddie. He had a big game. Last game he had 30 points. Former Wizards player. The draft lottery is coming up, but we're not here to talk about that, I guess. But yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie. He came up big in that game. Jalen Brunson is really matured during the playoffs. So those are like this remind. This is kind of similar to like. I don't know. I don't know. It's similar to like the Mavs team in 2011 because what they did was they sent all their like players at Devin Booker. They neutralized him, and same with what they did with LeBron James. And then that made players like CP3, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and like Cam Johnson, DeAndre Ayton. It let them. They're gonna have to be the ones to score. They're gonna have to be the ones to win the game for the Suns. And you know what? That's what happened to LeBron and the other guys on LeBron's team. They weren't able to do it. So that's what happened to the Suns. They weren't able to do it. Chris Paul really struggled in the playoffs. He was scoring like single digit points. Really wasn't playing well. Now he's getting slandered all over the internet, and I just feel bad for him. He's probably not going to get a ring. I don't know. I don't really see him getting a ring, but we can't count them out. But it's just unfortunate. This was really their year, and the fact that they're the number one seed, and they just got blown out like that, that was really uncalled for, and I did not expect that at all. But it is what it is. And then next we have okay, so yeah, that's the semifinals, conference semifinals. Now for the conference finals, both of them, there is a new award actually that just came out. It's the Larry Bird Award, the Larry Bird Trophy. Actually, I don't know why they're doing this, but they're making it's like a Finals MVP for the Eastern Conference Finals. It's called the Larry Bird Award, and then for the West, it's the Magic Johnson Trophy or something like that. So I don't know what they're actually called, but I know it's named after them too. But yeah, so we're gonna predict the winners of that, I guess. I mean, people are saying, "Oh, it wasn't necessary. It's just a participation award." But since it's there, we will predict it. We will. I guess I will say, well, who I'm gonna pick to go to the finals and how many games they will win. So you can see here we have the matchups. Today at 8:30 um we have the Heat versus the Celtics, and then tomorrow we got the Mavs versus the Warriors. This is gonna be good few games. I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited for the finals coming up as well. That's gonna be very, very, very entertaining, especially with Luka Doncic really lighting up the playoffs. But yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's see. So we got. I don't even know. Like I think it's tough. I'm gonna say Celtics, and I want the Heat to win. I really want Jimmy Butler to get that ring. I think he really deserves it. And like he's a great player. I really think Jimmy Butler deserves the ring, but I'm gonna have to say Celtics in six. I'm gonna have to say Celtics in six. I don't know if I mean I know the Heat are a good defensive team, but I don't think I mean they've gone against the Hawks and they're all right, and then you got the Sixers who they beat. I mean, they're okay too. I mean, definitely not on Boston's level. I think Boston is just a whole elite category above the Heat. I don't know. I mean, the Heat are the one seed. But with the way the Celtics have been playing ever since like January, only lost a few games since then. You beat the Bucks, the reigning champs. Their defense has been unreal. I have the Celtics winning in six. Um, and yeah, I mean the Heat. I want the Heat to win. I'm not gonna lie, but I think the Celtics are gonna win. That's my prediction. And then we have Mavs versus Warriors. Mavs Warriors. Oh, I want Luka Doncic. I want a Heat Mavs finals. I want that to happen. But I wouldn't be opposed to a Tatum versus Luka finals because there's a huge debate going around. Tatum versus Luka, who's better? Personally, I'm going Luka. I mean, in my opinion, that's not even a debate. Like, I don't know why it's going viral and all that, but it's got to be Luka, right? But um, yeah. So Mavs Warriors. I don't know. Unfortunately, I think it's gonna be the Warriors. I don't know. I want the Mavs to win. I could definitely see the Mavs winning in like 7 or something like that. But I'm gonna say Warriors in 7. I think Steph, Clay, Draymond, Poole, Andrew Wiggins, they all get the job done and they will move on to the NBA Finals. Um, but yeah, I don't want them to win. I don't want. Unfortunately, yeah, I don't want that to happen. And Steph Curry. Steph Curry is a great player, though. He's a. I don't know. I just have never liked the Warriors just because they've always been the best. They got KD that one year. And they won 2 championships, which I mean, dude, like, yeah, they won 2 championships with KD. Kind of just like everybody was rooting against them, so I never really liked the Warriors. But I probably see them winning the NBA championship. I don't know. I think at this point, I think they're the best team. They have good depth. Steph. Kerr has got everybody playing well. Um, but yeah, Boston Warriors finals. If that happens, that will be so entertaining because what's gonna happen to Steph Curry? Is he gonna get locked up by Marcus Smart? Who knows? But yeah, that would be a very entertaining series. But yeah, and then the conference finals MVP. So the Larry Bird Trophy, it's gonna go to a Celtic player. It's gonna go to Jason Tatum. I think it has to go to Jason Tatum if they win. I don't know, but let's see how it pans out. But I have Jason Tatum. That's my prediction. I think he's been a great scorer. He's been a great playmaker as well, and he's also been a great defender. All three aspects of his game, he's been great. And the Celtics have great 3 and D players who have potential to win it too. And you got the Western Conference Magic Johnson Trophy, and I have. You could go with the number of Warriors players. You have Steph Curry. You could go Jordan Poole potentially, but I'm gonna go Steph Curry since he's the star of the show, and yeah, I'm gonna go Steph Curry. I think he'll win that award. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna share my screen again and show you guys the stat leaders. We're gonna go over that. I haven't even looked at this at all during the playoffs, but yeah, you have Giannis here. He's leading it, I guess. You got Luca, who's averaging 30. Oh my God, Luca's insane. He's future of the NBA is in great hands right there. But yeah, you got Robert Williams here in blocks. Jimmy Butler's the leader in steals. Great defender. Yeah, the Heat are a great defensive team. The remaining teams, on the East, Heat and Boston, those are two great defensive teams. Um, you got Steph Curry with 3 pointers made. Assists. You got Chris Paul. Yeah, all 5 of these guys are eliminated, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I gave my predictions. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to predict these 2 series because four great teams. It's gonna be entertaining. A lot of these teams, they weren't really bought. They were more built. Luka Doncic drafted. Jalen Brunson drafted. They did. You have to make trades. You have to make free agent signings. But I mean, even the Warriors, they don't even have KD anymore. They drafted Steph, Draymond, Curry, Poole. They drafted all of those guys, which is crazy. Boston, they drafted Tatum, they drafted Jalen Brown, they drafted Marcus Smart. So, um, yeah, and then the Heat, I mean, they got Jimmy Butler, but they drafted Bam Adebayo, and they have a bunch of undrafted players, which is cool to see. Them getting this far, but it's going to be a great few games, and I'm excited to see the NBA Finals. I'm hoping we get a Heat versus Mavs Finals, but we'll see. That would be a rematch of 2011 and 2006. So yeah, that's a historic one right there. So I'd love to see that, but yeah, I just never really liked the Celtics either because who does like the Celtics other than Celtics fans? I don't know who does, but yeah, that's pretty much it for today. If you guys enjoyed, thank you for watching, and yeah.